Hello, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough. Today's review was requested by Rugrats 1991. Today we're going to continue the Nick-centric year on Media Wiz by looking at a game based on one of their movies. In this case, Jimmy Neutron, the movie, the game. Once again headed by THQ, this game was obviously made to tie in with the movie's release, even with behind-the-scenes clips and trailers featured as unlockable bonus features in the game. Yeah, remember when they used to do that for licensed games? The PC version of this game was released by AWE Games in 2001. The console versions on the PS2, GameCube were released in 2002, and the Game Boy Advance version was released in 2003. From what I can gather, this game has gotten generally bad reviews due to the graphics, controls, and level design. Some of this might be levied towards Big Sky Interactive, the company that made the PS2 and GameCube versions of the game, because they released it just a few months after opening their company. For this review, we're going to be looking at the PC version. I mean, after all, it's from a different company. Hopefully they got something right compared to Big Sky. Right? Right? Well, let's find out. This is Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius for the PC.
Oh, darn. I was looking forward to eating that apple.
I should have guessed. I needed to change the fluxing code in the magnetic pulsing sequence.
Okay, right off the bat, is this a game based on Jimmy Neutron, or is it based on UHF? I get it. It was the 2000s, and CG animation was still relatively new and trying to get into the mainstream. I mean, people can say what they want about the movie's animation, but this makes Johnny Quasar look fully rendered. As for the plot, this version of the game serves as kind of a sequel, with some Yokian official general seeking revenge on Jimmy. This really doesn't matter until the last few levels. The first half of the game basically functions as a collect-a-thon, where people ask you to collect things and you can explore the world. The game cuts you some slack by throwing in some bonus missions that can help you get used to the controls. Like right now, this is helping me get used to the two key devices, the Shrink Ray and the Jetpack. Shrink Ray is used to stop enemies, and the Jetpack can get you to higher platforms. Now get ready for one of the first issues I have with the game. The level layout in this is massive. You're constantly thrown into these big, wide open space areas like they're trying to make some kind of Mario 64 style game. But Mario 64 is a game that uses the big locations as a chance to explore. Sure, Battle for Bikini Bottom also had large level design, but the item collecting was better in that game. It actually felt like you were accomplishing something within the overall plot of the game. Here, this might as well just be Side Quests the game.
That's gotta be where those Yokians dropped that invisibility part.
Can you get the key from him and bring it home?
My girl-eating plant must have escaped from the lab. I'd better use my Shrink Ray and rescue her.
If you buy her some purple flurp, I'm sure she'd trade you for it. Your little buddy Carl was looking for you at school. Be a good boy and go and find him.
If you go to Retroland and get Ultra Lord's autograph for me, I'll give you the magnet.
Several areas that you explore include Jimmy's neighborhood, Retroville, downtown, the school, and Retroland. Honestly, I think the only fun side mission I've gone through so far has to be this Goddard level where you have to go through the sewer to find a device Jimmy needs. It's nothing special, but the controls in it are actually pretty fluent once you get used to it. Eventually the plot picks up when people start disappearing around town, and it seems that the Yokians are draining the nuclear power plant for energy, which could destroy the city.
Don't worry, Miss Val. There are plenty of technicians in there. I'm sure they have things under control.
They've all been abducted by the Yokians. Jimmy, you are our only hope!
So in this level you have to go around, throw baseballs to deactivate technology, and grappling hook your way throughout the level. Don't use any of your explosive items that you've collected, and don't die by jumping in some of the pools of acid scattered throughout the level. Here's one of my biggest criticisms with this game, especially with this level: the controls. They run incredibly slow. The jumping in this takes a lot to be desired. Try as you might to jump over these pools of acid, but most of the time you're barely gonna get off the ground and you'll end up taking damage. I guess they wanted to throw in some challenge since you're not allowed to use your jetpack in this stage on account of the nuclear energy all throughout the level. Anyway, you work your way throughout the building as the alien ship lands.
Hey, look, Goddard. There's Carl. It looks like the Yokians are taking him away. Hey, Carl! Over here! Over here! Get the rocket ship ready, Goddard.
You then chase the ship with Jimmy's rocket in this flying stage. Honestly, the controls are slightly better than what we've had so far, at least on my end. There are a few obstacles that are thrown your way that are kind of BS, but it's probably one of the more interesting levels in this game so far. And that's sad because it's one of the last levels. Finally, we've gotten to the last stage of the game. Make your way onto the Yokian ship, try not to get caught, and save the day. And what I can only describe as this game's attempt at doing a stealth level.
You'll need to use invisibility and stealth to sneak up on the fleet commander. This is it, Goddard. We're in the belly of the beast now. This game is almost over, but I have a feeling this will be the toughest area yet.
And now I can't help but be reminded of that one stealth level from Superman 64. This is not a good thing. Okay, well this was pretty easy. Now time to go face to face with the big baddie and what's sure to be a badass final boss level.
Release my people!
Sure. Right away.
Wow, that was easy.
Guards, take him away.
Help! Mama!
Okay, I try the peaceful approach. Prepare to be scrambled!
Okay. You heard the man. Send them all back home.
Not, we could just do that too. God, this alien surrendered faster than the French alien from Da Boom Crew, and that guy was a cowardly French stereotype. So the day is saved, I guess. Now you get everyone awkwardly clapping and singing your praises.
All right, Jimmy!
Good going, Jimmy!
I knew you could do it, Jimmy!
Don't think this means I like you more now, Neutron. But,
Ever since Birdemic have I seen such an awkward scene of people celebrating. So that was Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius for the PC, and I wanted to like it, but this was not that good. Everything about this just feels like a miscalculation. The graphics are either poorly rendered or flat out terrifying sometimes. The story is pretty basic, even for a loosely intended sequel, and it starts getting interesting near the end, only to have a total cop-out of an ending like that. The areas are way too big, and the controls can feel pretty wonky. And in a way, this game feels like it's kind of short. I mean, this game can be broken down into what's basically 6 levels that'll take you overall maybe hour and a half to play. Want to know the really weird thing? This was one of the better versions of this game. From what I've heard and seen of the GameCube and PlayStation 2 versions, people have said that those games have even worse controls and even worse platforming. And those were made for consoles, a solid year after this one came out. It really sucks because going into this game, I wanted to give it a chance, because I really liked the movie and I liked the TV show. Granted, they're not masterpieces, but after playing this just felt like a really last-ditch effort to capitalize on the success of the movie. Well, tune in next time for Media Wiz, where we're going to be joining Red Ribbon reviewers once again for the good old Christmas season of December. Until then, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough.
3, 2, 1. Into the stars to buy candy bars. Buys a kid with a knack for inventions. A superpowered mind, a mechanical canine. He rescues the day from short destruction. This is the theme song.